So I had a choice at age 30. Do I stay on ground and cry about it?
And blame everybody else.
And blame everybody else all my life?
Makes you powerless.
Correct. Or do I get up and keep moving forward?
Emil Juresic is the founder of NGU Group, which he launched in 2016. He has since grown to over 300 staff, and this year, 2021, is on track to do $1 billion in sales in his real estate company. Emil was born in Croatia and escaped the Yugoslav war to start a new life in Australia when he was 16. After becoming a millionaire in his 20s, he hit rock bottom before building to where he is today. Emil truly never gives up. Enjoy the listen. Emil Juresic, founder of NGU Group. You did 67 mil in real estate sales in your first year, and you've already done over 100 mil in April alone in 2021.
Correct.
You've now got over 10 offices since launching in 2016, which is when we first met.
Correct.
Emil, welcome to the Trillions podcast.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Great to have you here. So you were born in Croatia, and before you came to Australia, tell us a little bit about life and some of your earliest entrepreneurial memories and ideas that you had. I've heard that you sold candles, you cleaned bicycles. Tell us a bit about those days in Croatia so that the audience can gain a true appreciation of you.
Actually, I've got goosebumps.
I can see them, you do.
When I think about my childhood. Look, I was very fortunate to be born into a beautiful family, have most amazing mom and dad, but we were not really well off whatsoever. We were poorer than poor, to be exact. And at that time, it used to be a communist country, so there was not many ability for people to actually earn good money. So age 4 was my first entrepreneurial try, I guess. And we were so poor that I didn't actually have a bicycle. And so many of friends that I had, they had their own bicycle. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna wash their bicycles for maybe 50 cents. So one day I can afford my own bicycle. And a few months later, I was able to afford and buy myself a bicycle at age, 4 or 5. And when everything was peaceful, and then it used to be called ex-Yugoslavia, and when I was 10 years old, country had a civil war for 5 years, and when it had a big civil war, there was no electricity, no clean water, no food, and then on top of it you got bombs flying around your head. And Dad was in a war fighting, and I knew that family need to eat because we were surrounded by whatever people called enemies at the time. So only way you can really buy food is on the black market, and black market is people just selling it between buildings or in some alleyways, so you can buy bread or whatever food you can buy. So I thought at age 10 I can contribute something to my family, and so we can all eat. And I thought to myself, okay, there were United Nations in our city, and there were peacekeepers, and I knew they were looked after because they're supported by America, England, or whatever country. So I would go there and I would try to buy cigarettes from them, and I would convince them to sell me one pack of cigarettes for $5. But before war started, one pack of cigarettes, 20 cigarettes you can buy for $1. But when war started, that pack of cigarettes was $25. And not many people can afford $25 for a pack of cigarettes. But I thought to myself, you know what? If you will smoker, I can sell them the cigarette, maybe one cigarette at a time. So I would buy a pack of cigarettes for $5, and I would sell, one cigarette for $2, behind little buildings. And then also the risk factor. That's when I learned about the risk. Every single, every second or third day, there would be some soldier would come and put a literally gun to my head and steal my cigarettes. And they did it about 5-6 times, and I thought to myself, these fuckers, they're not gonna kill me, they just wanna take my cigarettes away. And I told them, look guys, if you keep doing this to me the way you're doing it, I'm gonna go broke myself. Well, how about this? I'll give you 2 packs of cigarettes a week, don't touch me, and tell all of your friends not to touch me whatsoever, so I can sell cigarettes freely. And then obviously when war started, we had no electricity, and place where we were living, it used to be a place where you can get wax, so you can make candles. And I learned how to make candles, and I used to sell candles between buildings as well. and I did it so family can survive, I guess. And there were other people selling candles, and if it was minus 20, for example, between buildings, nobody would be selling candles, and myself, age 11, 12, I would be there between buildings. My freaking toes would be almost frozen, and I would be still fucking there selling candles, because I know that I need to sell a few candles a day so mom and dad and my brother, we can have food on the table, and that's how you all started, and and obviously you gain the work ethic when you're young as well. And childhood was tough. For 5 years, I had family members being killed. I had no electricity, no clean water, no chocolates, nothing that kids have these days. I had bombs flying all around us, and one day we're sleeping in one bedroom, and other side of the apartment is hit by bomb, but I'm grateful. I learned value of life when I was very young age, and I learned that life can be taken away from you so freaking quickly. Two of us can die tomorrow in a car crash, right?
Yeah. So you also learned that sales is an important skill, right?
Oh, look, everything is sales in life.
Yeah.
You gotta sell yourself if you want to get a job.
Yeah. Or sell yourself to an attractive partner, or sell yourself in anything.
You gotta everything. Not everything, but a big part of it is in sales. But to be extremely good salesperson, that's an art. And to be extremely good one, everything to me is measured by how much energy you have and you give out. If your energy level is low, don't even bother being in sales.
Yeah, good
So
points.
that's my childhood, how I started. And then obviously when I was 16, I came to Australia as a refugee, and life started from there.
Yeah, cool. Well, a new life started from there.
Life.
Sounds like you developed some great skills in Yugoslavia.
Used to be ex-Yugoslavia, and then got divided into 6 different nations, and after the civil war started and so on. But I am Croatian. But look, all of the nationalities from ex-Yugoslavia are pretty much the same.
Yeah,
500,000 people died for nothing really, and they all live together now again, which is stupidity. But hey, that's life.
Yeah. So when you came to Australia, you're 16, like you said, and why
Yes.
did you choose construction as a job to do?
Well, my mom and dad were forcing me to finish school, so I finished grade 10, 11, and 12 here in Australia. I went to Sunnybank State School, and while I was still at high school, I was working full-time pretty much. I used to go and clean public toilets. I used to work on construction site so I can help mom and dad buy their first car for $5,000. And because when we came here, we had absolutely nothing. So I barely finished grade 12. And when I finished grade 12, mom and dad thought, you know what, you should go to university. I couldn't, because my grades were not so great. I don't even know how I finished grade 12, to be honest. But I somehow did. And then I thought, okay, to make mom and dad happy, I'm going to study business management in TAFE. TAFE's supposed to go for 2 years. I was there for 7 days. And I thought to myself, I told my teacher, with all due respect, how can you teach me how to really run a business and how to be a good business individual when you're actually working for somebody yourself? This is not for me. So 18 years old, I quit TAFE after 7 days, and I wanted to conquer the world. I thought to myself, fuck, I'm 18 years old, my heart is the size of Mount Everest, and I think, I'm hungry and motivated. But the reality is, when you're 18, your knowledge is very limited. You're still a baby, You're not a doctor, lawyer. You don't have a university education. And I didn't have parents that passed me a lot of business knowledge. I have a beautiful parents, but they were always working for somebody else. So I was on my own. And I thought to myself, okay, without education, how can I start earning great money? And I thought, okay, construction is something that I can get into. Then I was looking for the trade that I can learn fast, that gives me good dollars. And I learned one trade specifically, in 7 days.
Which one was it? Carpentry?
No, it was plastering, actually.
Okay.
I learned that, I wasn't perfectionist after 7 days, but it was good enough for me to start working for myself. And I started when I was literally 18 years old, and I started working 7 days a week from 4 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night time. Lights on my car were always on, because when I was going to work in the morning, it was dark. When I was coming back home, it was dark. and then I saved a bit of money. When I was 18 years old, I purchased a block of land for $78,000. I built a house for 101, and I sold it for $295. I made $120,000, and I thought to myself, fuck, Emil, you're so rich. You made $120,000 when you're age 18. When I was age 19, I built 2 homes. When I was age 20, I built 4, and went from there.
And you built your way up to building and selling 100 homes, is that correct?
Well, I've developed a few hundred homes by age 30. By age actually 27, I had a really clean journey because what I would do, obviously, I started working physically, but as soon as I started making a bit of money, then I just started developing. And I had a really clean run because I would buy land, I would build something on it, and when it's finished, I would use real estate agents to sell it.
Was that your construction company building?
Not on start. Later, yes.
Okay.
First 4 years I was using other construction companies. Then it was my own construction company building. So I had a phenomenal run from age 18 till age 27. When I was age 27, so many people started asking me, "Hey, Emil, can you build houses for us?" And you know what? I thought I can do that as well. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I made, because when you are building something for somebody, you have to build first and then you're waiting for clients to pay you. And weakness as my young businessman, between age 27 to age 30, I was building a lot of homes for other people, but 95% of my work was for one client. And in 2010, that client went under and he dragged me with him, really. And him and a couple of other clients due to financial crisis and whatever issues they had. And all the work that I created from working from fucking age 16 really to age 30, I literally lost everything overnight because other people dragged me with them. And so that was my crazy journey from age 16 to age 30. I worked so hard, had everything in my 20s. And age 30 when I...
Did you end up with $0? Did you have a little bit of cash to just scrape by, and then that's how you...
No, I didn't end up with $0. I ended up with debt of $3 million. I was fucking 10 feet under the concrete. So zero is fantastic. And you can start from zero. Anybody who wants to start in a business today, they're starting from zero, freaking beautiful. But when I lost everything that I built over 14 years, and a lot of people make money today, they lose it tomorrow, but worked so hard for 14 years. And I got burned by building properties for other people. That's why now I never do construction work for anybody but my own family. And it hurts, because when you work so hard for so long and then to lose it and to fail, it hurts. And when I lost everything overnight, pretty much, when other people went down, they dragged me with them. I used to blame all of them, used to blame everybody. Until I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I said, "Emil, you're losing everything, it's your fault. Somebody screwed you, it's your fault. You are not capable enough to stop it. They were better than you. Everything that has happened is your fault." So I had a choice at age 30. Do I stay on ground and cry about it?
And blame everybody else.
And blame everybody else all my life?
Makes you powerless.
Correct. Or do I get up and keep moving forward? Learn everything from every mistake that I have made, which is hundreds of them, from every failure that I have, which is a lot of them, and use it as advantage to move forward, because there's so much knowledge you create when you fail that you can do better next time. And I have failed many times. I still fail every single day with small things that I do, but I try to learn from it and move on. But that's what life is all about. It comes down to how much strength you have to actually get up and keep going, because it's not freaking easy, I tell you. It's not easy to fail. It's not easy. But the bad news is, for anybody that is going to start their own business, you will fucking fail. You will fail so hard, and again and again and again, because most people, they don't have rich parents to help them financially and start. Some of them do. And then most people don't have rich parents to rescue them. So when you start something on your own, specifically when you're learning from scratch, you're going to fail so many times. You may even lose everything. You may even go under. So what? Get the fuck up and keep moving forward, because that is what life is all about,
Even if you fail, you're not going to die. So like you said, it's a matter of keeping on moving forward. So how when you with 3 million under, did you come back from that? Because I know you copped a bad rap and you had a lot of haters. So how did you?
I still have a lot of haters today.
Great, that's a good thing.
They're my fans.
Yeah. So how did you come back out of that and build your reputation back up in Brisbane and get your way out of where you were?
The thing is, the sad part of life is that people judge book by its cover instead of reading it, right? Men, you can just say hi to each other, and I can say I don't like her hair, or she doesn't like my hair because I got too much grey hair. Well, lady, get to know me first before you can complain that I'm a bad person. Because people judge book by its cover, it's sad. People judge you now how well you're doing. If you're driving a Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever, oh my God, he's good, he's successful, I want to follow him. And if you lose everything tomorrow, you're nobody. You're nobody. You're fucking nobody. I made my money, my success from age 16 to age 30 over 14 years. You have thousands of friends, fans, whatever you call them, and when you lose everything, people see, he's a loser, he went under, and people don't judge you, based on your personality, on your strength, how good human you are, how capable you are to recover. People don't do that.
It's very much about status now, which is
fuck status. You're just gonna be happy, and don't do anything to please others. I don't give a flying fuck what others think of me. If they like me, fantastic. I'll be good to them. If they don't like me, get in a line.
So tell us how you came back up.
So simple, very simple. So when I lost everything, I had a choice to get up and keep moving forward or go down. And when I get up, literally, that was 12 years ago, I said, you know what, I have so much knowledge that I've gained. And then you got to start small again. So I had an idea and started slowly. I even went back into construction, even went back to physical work as well, till I saved a little bit of money and built a little house in the middle of Red Bank Plains. And started from there, one house by another.
So it's important not to think you're too good to go back to your roots and hands-on.
I'll go back on tools today. I'm on tools right now, being in real estate. A lot of people think to themselves, look, Emil, you're building so many luxury homes, and you have 10 real estate offices and media company, and you still sometimes sell real estate. I love it. I love I love leading by example. That's what I love doing, to be precise. And by that age, I just, and that's when NGU was never born. That's when NGU was born, because NGU stands for never give up. Because I didn't give up first. I didn't give up first when I was in my teens, when I was growing up. And I didn't give up when I was in my 20s. And I didn't give up when I lost everything when I was in my age 30. And everything comes down to your state of mind. If you have a strong state of mind, you are bulletproof. You're really bulletproof.
So after that place in Red Bank, you built your way back up. So it's safe to say that you built a house, and then you sold it for profit, and then you built more. And then
2016, I started developing a lot of homes.
Yeah, cool.
And then 2016, I said, I had enough of dealing with real estate agents.
Who would be selling your properties?
Because agents used to sell my properties since I was 18 years old to age 36. I'm 40. I'm still 41.
42 on Tuesday.
I'm 41. Don't steal my 4 days that I got left of 41. 42, correct. And so age 36, I've sold so many houses through real estate agents, and I said to myself, you know what, I had enough dealing with real estate agents, really. One, agents talking too much shit, that's easy, you can see through it. Second, what I was really annoyed that agents don't understand construction. Because I was developing so many beautiful homes, and real estate agents would come to my house. He would say, Emil, your house is worth, for example, $1 million based on 10 other homes sold in the area, which is bullshit, because every single house costs different dollars per square meter to build. So they're selling a product that they don't understand the value of. How does that work? And other thing that was annoying me, agents were not moving ahead with times. Because mobile phone has changed everything. Technology is
and social media.
And I thought to myself, you know what, I want to start my own real estate agency. And when I decided I want to start, I thought to myself, I'm going to lead by example. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm starting my own real estate company, and I have 1,000 Ray-White offices, 1,000 Remax offices, LG Hookers, all good companies out there. And who the fuck is Emil Juresic that's going to start his real estate little company? So I thought only way I can start it. One, I need to lead by example. So if I do well, I'm going to attract other people to join. Two, I need to be really standing out with marketing. And I thought to myself, at that time, not many people were really utilizing social media. And I thought to myself, if I can create good marketing around properties that I'm going to sell, and if I can really get it out in front of everybody on social media, I can start dominating fast. 5 years later, we have 10 offices, and people know who NGU Real Estate is anywhere you go in Brisbane. Not to brag about it, but people know us. And we are focused on marketing. Marketing in a house is going to sell itself. Real estate agent obviously has to push hard when it comes to negotiating, but everything comes down to marketing. And today we really use social media. That we are, I think, one of the only companies in Australia that have over 1 million followers across all of our social media pages. And the funny thing is, many real estate agents around Australia are using pages that I own.
Oh, cool.
They're not just called NG Real Estate, they're called different names and so on. But we really know how to, we are marketers, we just know how to market anything. And when it comes to somebody's home, our goal is, entire country needs to know this home is for sale. More people we get through the house, more offers we're gonna get, simple as that.
Yeah.
So that's real estate for you.
Yeah, cool. And so I know how hard you work, Emil. I watch you on social media.
I'm a bulldog when
you
it comes to
definitely,
hard work.
100%, you lead by example. You work hard. You don't like sleeping because that's time that you can't spend working, which is what you love. So what do you do to celebrate? So I know you've got the Ferrari. It's your first one. Congrats.
I
love
second
cars.
one coming.
I saw that. So how do you like to celebrate your wins? Do you buy things? I know you've got the jet skis. What do you like to do to celebrate?
Okay, so I'll tell you one thing. I actually truly understand, and I keep telling people this all the time. I understand that I have one life, and two of us are gonna die one day. Maybe next year, maybe in 10 years, maybe when we are 80 years old. We actually only have one life. We're gonna die one day. We're gonna die one day. Because I truly understand that I'm going to die one day, I live every day with so much joy, happiness, energy, every single day. And every single day I celebrate because I'm breathing. I'm sitting here with you, we're joking. I met your partner, she convinced me to do personal training with her tomorrow, which I'm not sure how that's going to go. But isn't life beautiful,
yeah,
right?
It's fun.
I don't stress about anything anymore. And I celebrate every single day. I'm alive. I'm doing what I love. I'm doing business with people I want to do business with. I don't, do business with people that are evil or bad or whatever you want to call them. If haters are out there, I love that they are out there because they know my name, so they don't stress me. Problems in business, that doesn't stress me. So I celebrate every day because I'm alive. I do what I love. Isn't that a celebration? Every single thing I do that I want to do. That's called celebrating. Yes, buying a Ferrari and driving a nice car or living in a nice place, and I'm about to build a spectacular home for myself. That's all, that's all okay. But my celebration is
every day.
Every day. Think about this. You buy a Ferrari, you don't drive it 24 hours a day, you drive it 20 minutes a day.
It's like a peak. I've experienced this with leveling up my own lifestyle and buying nice things at my level, and you get a temporary spike in the moment, and then what? Exactly. And if you live by thinking that those things will fulfill you, it's futile. It doesn't work. It's bullshit. It's so important to design a life that you enjoy every day, like you said.
And you meet so many good people. This morning, I have met beautiful, beautiful gentleman. He's an older guy, maybe 60 years old, and runs extremely successful company. It's on stock exchange. A guy's worth of $1 billion. And I spent literally 1 hour on the Gold Coast talking to him, and he said, Emil, life is one big party. Because sometimes you go out and nightclub is closing, 3 a.m. And you think to yourself, oh, I only got 1 hour left and then it's closed, and that's it. Party over, and that's life. We are right now in the middle of the partying, and hey, closer we get to whatever age normally people die, it could be 80 years old or whatever it is, our party is going to be over. And that to me is a celebration. Every day I celebrate. I love being alive. I'm so excited that I'm breathing. I walk into my office every day. I got most amazing people that I'm working with, and I don't stress. I don't stress. I live my life almost zero fucks given.
That's cool.
I don't stress about stupidity, shit. Do I have problems? Thousands of them, like we all do. We're humans, but I don't even see them as a problem. Problem is there, just deal with it, celebrate it, move on.
So on that note, Emil, everybody goes through challenges, and a lot of my followers actually love to hear successful people, people they perceive as highly successful. What a moment in time was for you specifically where you thought, oh man, I really could give up right now, but you didn't. But what was that moment for you, and how did you get through it?
Okay, good question. You're good at this. See, the thing is, your mind is your best friend and your biggest enemy, right?
So true.
I mean, me and you can make a big drama out of freaking lift not working. Who cares? Just get stairs, takes you 5 minutes later, good exercise for
Or things that happened years
us,
ago, but
whatever.
you move on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it comes to challenges, and you know what, I've been trained since I was little not to beat myself up and to even see anything as a challenge.
But what was one moment? The audience asks me, please ask your guests for a moment so we can relate to them, of some time where they felt really challenged. Maybe it was when you were a kid and you thought, this is a shit time.
I asked myself a question, if I ever hit that point of time, probably when I lost everything, I asked myself, what do I have to lose if I get up and keep going again? Because if I stay on the ground, I'm already lost. So what do I have to lose if I keep going again? I can fail, back to the same spot, but get up again and keep trying. Because you can always fall back on nothing. When you're on the bottom, you're on the fucking bottom.
It's true.
So if you try, if you succeed, great. If you don't, you still come back to the bottom. So with me is, and my advice to anybody that's gonna start, that's gonna fail, or thinks they will not fail, my advice to them is just fucking relax. Bad news is you're gonna fail. We're all gonna fail at something. You suck at something, and I suck at something. We all suck at something that we're gonna probably learn hard way when we fucking make mistake or fail or whatever. So what? Just put in your fucking head, you got one life, you're gonna die one day. So dwell on it or move on.
Or get someone else to do it who's
better
than you.
Hey, look, my strength right now, older you get and more you learn, I learn now that I'm the dumbest person in my company. My strength that I have right now is employing people that are way better than I am in their own field. And I love employing people that are smarter than me. It's beautiful. They think on my behalf anyway, so I benefit in the end.
So what was one thing that you think you could have done better in that time where you did go under?
Look,
you said you put all your eggs in one basket with one construction company. That's
correct.
A great lesson. What's another lesson you can share?
Look, to be honest, there is...
Or even from recent experiences.
Look, to be honest, I think one thing that I have learned, I used to put pressure on myself what people think of me. Mm-hmm. And we all liked it, right? Sometimes, people want to be liked. People want to be liked, and they try, and they want everybody to like them. Not everybody's gonna like me or you or a guy called John down the road. So I used to put pressure on myself, and that's something that I have learned. What a waste of energy that I'm giving by somebody else's opinion. Some people's opinions do matter. My new personal trainer, if she tells me, Emil, don't eat McDonald's every day, well, you know what, I better listen to her, right? She knows what I should be doing. So some people's opinions matter, but some people really fucking doesn't. So one thing that I used to beat myself up, I guess, is what people think. Emil, you started business and you failed. A mate of mine, Albos, that she interviewed, I also interviewed him as well. He said, Emil, I failed 16 16 times. 17th time he created a business and he sold it over $60 million. And now he's on the business number 18 or whatever the number it is, and he's probably going to sell it for 5 times more than that, if not 10.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. See, the thing is, when you want to start your business, you don't know everything. If you know everything about everything, you'll be worth $2 billion from day one when you're born. But you're not. So you're starting something, and half of the time you have no idea what the fuck are you doing. You're just climbing the mountain and learning as you go, and you make mistakes. And so I think people focus too much, even people that ask questions like that, they focus too much, what was that moment? Fucking moment is every day. Have issues, fail, problems are there, just deal with it, move the fuck on. Otherwise you can dwell on it for 10 days, so be creative for 10 days what you can do better tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's some great advice, and I agree. You have problems every day. I was looking for a moment that really stood out, but it's
every day. That
great.
moment is every day for me.
It's great to know that it happens every single day. That's normal.
Every day.
So a lot of people, I'm sure, ask you about work-life balance. I personally believe that, like we discussed before, life can be enjoyable. Life, if your work is your life, that can be enjoyable. So, what do you say to people when they try to say to you, Emil, you work so much, 7 days a week, it's too much? I personally don't believe it's too much, but what do you say?
Well, see, the thing is,
if somebody wants to do what you do and have balance,
so you do what you want to do. And to me, my life is so fucking perfectly balanced because I work 20 hours a day. I do what I love. It's not work. People don't understand. You go to the job, you're going to do 10 hours, then you're going to go home, and fuck, I can't wait till 5, 6 o'clock hits so I can go home. With me, my life is perfectly balanced. I do what I want to do. If I feel like having a lunch, I go and have a lunch for 3 hours. If I feel like racing my car in the mountains, not mountains, racetrack, should I say, I'll do it. I do stuff on my terms. And that's one thing that I encourage people to do. Live life on your fucking terms. Do whatever you want to do. If it makes you happy to work for somebody else, Telstra, 8 hours on telephone, fantastic. If that makes you happy, great, stay there. But my life is super balanced because I love what I do. I can't wake up in the morning and I go to my office, see amazing creative people. We have fun together. We create good ideas. Team is growing. And I've built such a good culture within my company that I want to be there. Why would I go and have a 6-hour lunch in some restaurant when I can spend 6 hours with so funny, amazing, creative people in my office that we can all eat together and become part of the family? So my life is balance is whatever you think is balance in your head.
I agree.
Whatever. If it's balance for you to work 8 hours, rest 5, good. For you. For me, my balance is I love living every day.
How did you create that awesome culture that you've got at your offices? Because that's really important.
Because I look for people that will fit in within the office. So if I started with me and then employ 2 people, then 4, and any person I try to employ, and not everybody works out, I try to make sure they fit in within the culture, they have the same attitude, similar personality, they can all get along. I don't just look for absolutely best people to join me. I look for absolutely best attitude, and that you can train them to become the best. And with me, if I get somebody, if I feel they don't fit in, I ask them, I suggest to you go and work somewhere else. Because I have so many people that work till 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night time, and they actually don't have to. They want to. And I always keep telling people, which is very crucial, that you gotta love what you do. Because think about this life-work balance. 80% of your day, while you're alive, because when you're sleeping, you're fucking dead. 80% of your day, while you are alive, is about work. You wake up in the morning, most people are getting ready to go to work. Then they spend half an hour to 1 hour in traffic going to work. Then they work all day till 6 o'clock or 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Then they drive home for half an hour to 1 hour from work. And then when you get home 7 o'clock, you're awake for 2 hours, then you're fucking dead again.
Yeah, maybe kids or family time, and then
2 hours,
back
dead.
into it.
Then dead. And then wake up again the next day, the same thing. So with me is, what balance do you fucking have? Don't you think I got more balance than you? Because you are working, not you, I'm talking, just in general. Most people, they work for 10 hours being miserable as fuck for 10 hours, and then after that they go home for 2 hours and then they're happy. I'm happy all day, not just 2 hours a day.
So entrepreneurship is really glamorized lately, I feel like, especially on social media. It makes entrepreneurship look like the best thing and the only way. Some people feel like maybe they want to work in a job, but some people think that they have to be an entrepreneur, and then when they try and it doesn't work, that working for someone else is weak. What do you have to say to people who actually would like to work for someone else and have that security, but feel like maybe other people are judging them? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Entrepreneurship is very glamorized. And
first of all, never pay attention what people think of you, because you're gonna have people that are gonna love you, support you, and people that are jealous, that are gonna hate you. So you don't worry about being judged. People need to live life and be happy. So don't do things for others. If it makes you happy to work for somebody else and not take the risk, beautiful, do that, and don't do anything else, because if you do what I do, you'll be miserable. I love doing what I'm doing because it suits me, and that's what I want. So do what you love, what you want, and don't pay attention about what others will think of you. Being an entrepreneur, the good and bad news is it's gonna be fucking hard. Embrace it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be challenging. You're gonna be failing, and guess what? The good news is you just keep trying again. You just keep trying, especially if you're young and you got time on your hands. So if you fail and you've got a great idea and you fail at it, don't give up. So you might get a job somewhere else till you figure out what other idea you might have or what you're gonna do, and that job will just give you, income to eat, pay rent, till you figure out what you're gonna do. So don't see it as a weakness. See it as I played my first half of football game and I'm losing, and now I've got 15 minutes break to figure out how I can get back out there and win other half. And you may be working for somebody else for 15 minutes. It's that break till you figure out and recharge your battery to try again. But as long as you try again, because if you're entrepreneurial and you try something and you fail, and then you're going to work for somebody else, and if that is not within you, you're going to be unhappy. So use it as that 15-minute break in a football game, so you can fucking get up and try again.
Yeah, I love it.
And even if you lose the game, well, guess what? Go back to the training. If you have to work for somebody else, till you're ready to go again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Fucking fail 1,000 times, get back up 1,001, and never give up. There's only one life.
I love that you called your company NGU, which means never give up. I think that's such a cool name, and not rather than even just having it as the tagline, it's the actual name of your company. So that's really cool. You've also got in NGU Group, you've got NGU Real Estate, NGU Law, NGU Media. Do you have anything else exciting on the horizon? Or
yes, many things. Obviously, NGU Property Development, because we do a lot of developments as well. But there is something very big and exciting that I'm working on with one of my best friends. And it's something completely different from what I have been doing for a long time. But we're going to be launching that in about 1 month time. Not many people know about it.
Can you share? Well, a little bit?
It is it's property development, construction, real estate related. That's all cool. I can say. But you'll be one of the first people to know and be excited that we've been working on this massive project with some amazing people. There are amazing people out there.
I believe that too. How do you decipher between who's a great person and who's somebody you should avoid?
Look, when you are age 42, like you said, I'm 42. Even I think I'm still 41. I am a massive believer. I have gained so much experience in my life, and when you deal with so many people, you learn how to judge people fast on your feet. I'm a massive believer in my gut feel. If I meet you, if I don't like you straight away, my gut feel is telling me to walk away, I'll fucking walk away. So I always go on that first instinct, how do I feel about the person that I meet? And I like to think that I've developed a skill that I know how to read somebody. But also, in business that I'm in now, I'm dealing with a lot of people that have good track record, good results, so you can easily see, how good they are based on the results. And right now I can say to people, think of me whatever you like, just judge me based on my results.
Yeah, cool.
Because they'll prove you that I'm fucking good at what I do.
Relentless. Do you have, I love asking my guests about their investment strategy. Some people love property. Obviously, you're in the property industry. There's crypto now, there's stocks, there's bonds, there's index funds, there's banking, there's all kinds of stuff you can invest money in to compound. And you're making a lot of money. You've got a nice place to live, car. So now it's probably about building keeping some of that cash and compounding it. So is your investment strategy property, or are you willing to share on that?
Yeah, sure. Look, I always wanted to create a cash cow, and that's my business. I always wanted to create a business that makes me dollar every single day, and business that I'm in control of. People invest money in crypto. I don't. People do. If they do well, fantastic. But you're investing money where, first of all, most people that invest money in crypto don't even understand it properly. But even if you do, you're investing money and somebody else is controlling it. I have money invested in my own company that I have built and gives me dividends every single day. Every single day I got a company that pays me money. So my big investment is company I've created and makes me money every day. I do invest money in property. I do invest a little bit in stocks as well. But I just keep investing into businesses, to be honest. That's what I see as my cash is piled, investing it into companies and property, and also I like to have $1 or $2 in my account for good opportunities that might come tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. So what you're saying is invest in stuff that you understand, basically.
100%.
And things you can control, which I agree with.
You can call me a dinosaur, and trust me, I'm an aggressive mover in business, but at the end of the day, I also do like to, invest it in things that I enjoy doing and things that I, understand, I guess.
I think people who give their money to a financial advisor or to manage their money, I think that's personally not a choice that I would make, is to give my money to someone who's most of the time doing worse than me to play with my money. That's not financial advice, but that's not something I would do.
I got a different opinion about most financial advisors. I won't get into that, but you got to really, if you're going to get a financial advisor, make sure you get one that you can trust, and make sure that you get one with a good track record of investing his own money into places where he's recommending it to you.
Yeah, cool.
And that he did well out of it, by the way.
I like to flip the interview for one question, Emil, and you asked me a question. So is there something that you think could make an interesting answer for the audience, or something that you're curious to know about me that you'd like to ask?
About yourself?
Sure.
Oh, I'll ask you a question. I ask many people, and I will ask you too. What do you think is a recipe to a happy life?
I think you've said it before. Do what you love. I think a recipe for a happy life is writing goals down. I like writing goals, whether it's to help me guide my life in a certain direction because it's written down as a reminder. Yes. But yeah, doing what you love. I love experience personally. So I love getting out there and climbing mountains. Or last week we were at Qualia in Hamilton Island. That was a beautiful experience. So experiencing life is one, having good people around, and building businesses that have an impact on an ever-growing number of people.
I think what you're doing, even with interviewing different people, it can have an impact in somebody else's life.
Yeah, well, I was having, one of my first mentors was Phil DeBella, and he had a massive...
Beautiful guy.
Great guy, and he had a massive impact in my life, and I've been blessed in that.
He should send you the bill.
I'm sure he will one day. And I've been blessed in that I've been able to encounter many other amazing entrepreneurs and business people, and even people who work 9 to 5, and my parents, and all kinds of people have had an impact in my life. And I was
Every person you meet can have an impact on your life.
100%. And so I was having these conversations with Phil behind, one-on-one. And I thought to myself, why don't I have a great ability for networking? Why don't I share these conversations with the world and via my podcast platform? And so I've got listeners now on every continent in the world. I love to grow the podcast and share your words and other people's words with the world, because why not? Like you said, you could be dead tomorrow, and I think it's really cool that you get your message out there and you impact 1 to 100,000 people. So that's why I do it.
It's a beautiful way of looking at life.
Yeah, definitely. So on that, is there a legacy that you want to leave, Emil? I know you don't have kids, but you have.
Yes, I'll tell you legacy that I always. I always wanted to. I got a beautiful uncle. I got a lot of uncles, but one in particular. He said, "You don't want to die and not pass your knowledge to others." That was the purpose of life, right? You want to give back. It's not just let me take something from this world and keep it for yourself. And I'm not talking just financial. So my legacy is in a different way. I just wanted to see if I can change somebody else's life. And my legacy is everything. If I have learned anything, if it can be good for anybody, I want to get it all out of my head before I die. So I love sharing my good, my bad experiences with others. And to me, my legacy is already being created. If I can help somebody, if I can share my knowledge with people, and my legacy is already living. If there's something that I can do to contribute to somebody else's life, my legacy is already in making.
Yeah, I've seen you sharing your social media posts, and just whenever you have a moment during the day, you share it on Instagram. And I think that's already doing what you say is doing. You're sharing your wisdom already. So you're already living your legacy. Very cool. Well, is there anything else you want to leave us with, Emil?
Hey, I'm sure if people have more questions, we can do this again sometimes in the future.
Yeah.
So all good.
Thank you for
having me here.
Thanks for coming. And if you want to get in contact with Emil, hit him up on Instagram or social media. He's very active, and he's
active sometimes.
He's a great guy. So yeah, thanks again, Emil. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.